Yo, 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 yo. Hey, man, I was super tired. Just wanted to sleep in. But I'm a currency trader, and we don't do that. So, let's go. So, good morning. Hi, my name is Wayne McDonald. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client. Thank you for all the effort that you're putting into learning how to trade successfully, because that's what Traders Way wants for you. That's why I'm here. I'm here to teach you technical and fundamental analysis, trader psychology, lead by example, all that kind of stuff. Push, prod, pull, carrot, stick you all the way to success. It might still be blood, sweat, and tears for years, but at least you get there. So the business model for Traders Way is pretty simple. If an amateur trader comes in, they don't know what they're doing, they'll pop some money into an account, they'll blow up the account, they go away, and that's that. But if I can teach you how to not just survive but thrive, then you will trade year after year after year after year after year. And I don't know if you know this, but a broker gets paid when you trade. So they said, you know what, Wayne? It'd be really cool if you could help our clients survive and then thrive so that they trade year after year after year after year after year after year. I said, sounds like a great idea to me. So that's why we're here. So make sure you pay it back. They're investing into your success up front. So please visit TradersWay.com, open an account. Also, YouTube loves the thumbs up. So do I. And the comments and all that kind of stuff. If you would take maybe a quadrillionth of a second and click the like button, it'd be much appreciated. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. So I'm trying to lead here by example. Once again, I went to bed somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning. I have an 8-page paper to write today. I've slept hardly anything. I'm totally exhausted. My eyes are puffy. I'm just worn out. Dirty dog. Got to get up and do my work. The webinar's not work. I got to check the markets. I got to check my positions. I got to do these things. I mean, we always have to do these things. And so I'm just trying to lead by example. I totally wanted to sleep in. Oh, my God. But it's just not acceptable. And we don't accept mediocrity in our community. So here I am, here you are. And of course, I told you I wasn't going to do these webinars. Well, that was the plan, but I'm here. So cool. So let's do technical analysis of dollar pairs, yen pairs, gold and oil, and call it a day, just like we've been doing the rest of the week. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. Someone asked, I think it was Roman in the other webinar, hey Wayne, can your templates just give me green arrows and red arrows to make it easier to know when to buy and sell? No, you're going to have to learn how to trade. Okay. Euro lira? Okay. Let's just start there, just since it's different. Okay. Gee whiz, I might need to wear glasses again. Yeah. No, I don't think I'm complaining. I hope I'm not complaining. All right, so there's Euro Lira. Nothing's really happened. It's been moving sideways. And I love sideways moving carry trades, because the volatility is what scares you out of a trade. So if it lacks volume and volatility, just moves sideways, then I actually get to carry trade, which means day and night, night and day, weekends, holidays, it doesn't matter, I get paid. That's what I like about it, because a carry trade is very similar to buying a bond. Thank you, Murray. Okay. Neat, right? Nothing really going on. We're inside here and inside there and inside all of this, inside blah 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 blah. So cool. Perfect. How would you get into this? That I'm not too sure about, because it doesn't look like it's trending. You had an opportunity 2 weeks ago to get the role reversal, so I'd mark this up like this, right? So you had that, I think that was like 2 weeks ago. So what do you do now? Nothing. Okay. Any questions? It looks like, so I shorted this one in the beginning of May, maybe the very end of April. So here's the end of April. We're at the end of June. Enough said. Drop the mic, walk off stage. Boom! Like a boss. That's how you do it. Cool. There you go. All right. No, we're right back to where we were. Well, there's no entry. You see that, Uma? You must have a bias. So clearly my bias is down. You saw I was short 2 positions. Okay? So you know what you shorted. So now it's like you need to figure out the price in which you would like to sell. And you need to then use technical analysis to also tell you the timing. One is strategic. That's the price. And the timing is tactical. So I look at that currency pair. I'm like, okay, I want to be short. That's fine. But the price is much higher or much lower than depending on how you entry. And then you got to do an entry. So there's just nothing there. Now, let me go back maybe. Here's the dangerous thing, and this is probably what amateurs do. This is probably what amateurs do. So I'm looking at it here, right? I see there's nothing. That's what I see. And someone else is looking at this, putting together trade plans. You're going to lose money on that time frame. The reason you're going to lose money on this time frame is there's no strategy. What's the price? You know, it's not even trending. So it's like, it's the right idea to trade this, but you're about, like I said before, maybe 2 or 3 months late. Then we go into the summer. We expect it to move sideways. I don't like entering long-term trades now. If it was August, we might talk about it. End of June, nah, it doesn't fit. It's just no, it's not a good trade. Okay. No, Jason. No. How often does that happen? No, put it this way, guys. You have to think strategically and tactically. That's why I called the book Strategical Tactical Forex Trading. So you look at a 4-hour chart. I'm only asking, do I want to buy or do I want to? No, I should say it this way. It is because you have a bias already. So now on the 4-hour, I say, am I at a price to which to buy or sell? Okay. And then you're done on the 4-hour. I'm not trying to line them up. It's more like, so what did I say yesterday? That's actually it. Look at that. That's actually it. Interesting. So delete. So what we were talking about is we were sort of up here somewhere yesterday, right? If you add them up, yes, 604.24. So we were there, and I'm like, you should be thinking about next week's trades, right? So if that was what you were, let's say you agreed with me on that, okay? And then price fell down near the central pivot, near the 4-hour 21. Well, we know that's also a dynamic level of support, right? And potentially pivot support. It's not great, but we're also adding up next week's, next month's pivots, okay? So we know this whole area is the price. So remember, I say first we need to know the price. What price would you be interested in buying this? You got to think about it like an asset. It's not just a trade. It's still not colors on the screen. How much would you be willing to pay for a car? Well, which car? And all that kind of stuff. So once you nail down the specifics of the exact car, how much would you pay for a 2015 Audi A8 with reasonably low miles, right? Well, there's a market price. So what would you be willing to pay for a euro yen? Okay, that's all it is. So once you get near your designated price, because that's what this zone is, so I look at next month central pivot, next week central pivot, this current month's central pivot, I'm looking at the 4-hour 21 and all that kind of stuff. So I'll say, yes, somewhere in here, the price would look good to me. I would be very interested buying it here. Now remember, we were doing this analysis when we were way up here. So there's a big difference between up here and down there. So, okay, Jason, when you get down to your designated price, the price you might be willing to buy this, then you drop to a smaller time frame. It's not that we're lining them up. It's just you have to tell me, what price would you be willing to pay for a euro yen position? You're like, oh, well, I'd like it down, whatever that says, 122.5 to 122. Like, cool. So then you get down there. Now you got to do something, right? I got to move. Right? So what do? So when you get to that area, you say, okay, now we're down near my price. Now I need confirmation that now is a good time to buy. Okay? 5A cross here, 1, 2, 3 roll reversal, right? So an aggressive entry, let's get my drawing tool up. An aggressive entry would enter here because they knew the price. They don't need market data. They already know the price. They already know their bias. They know the setup. They've analyzed this on a daily chart, a 4-hour chart. Like, you don't need market data. You just need to know when you're going to buy. Right? That first opportunity is the 5A cross. It represents price. You're buying when the market's going up. But you don't know it's going up. It's your whole plan. That's what your whole analysis was. You knew yesterday that if we got down here, it's probably going to go up. So when you get down there, boom, 5A cross up long and strong. Let's say you're not that aggressive, okay? This is your second opportunity, and it's very, very easy. That's simple, very basic price action, okay? And of course, 2155 cross. So whether you're using moving averages, Fibonacci, price action, because of course that's a Fibonacci, right? It's a 382. It's all there. But this chart doesn't tell you to buy. It just tells you when to buy. It's purely tactical. So like if you took this chart like I showed you before, if someone asked about Euro Turkish Lira and you're on a 15-minute chart, it doesn't tell you anything. You might get a tactical entry, but without strategy, you're going to lose. You're going to get whooped. If you're an athlete, you know that. If you have a team with fantastic athletes, but they don't play as a team, a mediocre team is going to whoop you as long as they play like a team. If they're 5 across, oh well, yeah. Look. Then you got to back up, Jason. If you don't know how to identify support as a bull, you need to go to price action. You need the price action course, and that's that. If you don't know how to trade with price action, you're screwed. It ain't going to work. You have to know how price moves, right? And then the next part is you're going to need to know how to swing trade. That's where you need leading indicators. Well, price action is a leading indicator. The next one is pivots. Pivots tell you targets, right? Price action doesn't necessarily tell you targets. I mean, it kind of does, kind of doesn't. But if you are not an expert in those two leading indicators, it's going to be very difficult and frustrating. Okay, so you got to master that. You got to master that. I couldn't imagine not. Yeah, you got to know that. This guy's. It's a late. The trade's late. It's really a second chance here. Let me use a different color. This is really straightforward. Okay, I'm not trying to slap you in the face or anything. I'm just saying, if you put a plan together like that you were going to buy euro yen and you were going to buy it at this month's pivot, which is also basically next month's pivot, and you got those things lined up and you got the right price and you like everything on the 4 hour and you drop down into here. Okay, I can see that if you weren't there right at the right time, you could miss it. Okay, I get that. So too bad. But if you were razor sharp, hardcore plan, can't wait to pull the trigger on that, you're going to get it. I know it. That would be that's a decent, that's a good trade. That's a great trade. The second one here, if you didn't take that but you did all that analysis, you got a different problem. You understand? You're not doing your job. You're not doing the work. You're not doing the analysis. You're playing video games on a 15-minute chart, right? But if you've done your work on the 4 hour and you put up a hardcore trade plan and you did it yesterday, oh my God, you could not have missed that. That is straight up, straightforward. That's a trade plan. Do it all day, every day, rest of your life stuff. So if you're missing that, you say, why am I missing it? Do I not understand how to do a trade plan? Do I not understand price action? Do I not understand pivot points? Do I not understand, all these different things? Okay, if you're looking at euro yen now, trying to figure out what to do today, you already have lost. You've already lost. You might make money today, yeah, but you'll give it back tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Okay, you need to be setting trades up, and I've told you this 100,000 times, right? You need to be setting trades up for next week. It's Friday. On Thursday, you should be setting up trades for Monday. On Thursday, sometimes Wednesday. But what was the trade plan? We were up here, down to this area based on next week's analysis, and then up if you're a bull. It doesn't tell you to be a bull. You need to make that decision fundamentally. But if you're a bull, that's snap. Look at that. Oh my God. Come on. Look at the role reversal. Come on. We're right on the swing, and you're going to be in this for days, man. For days. Gravy train. Okay? So now ask yourself. This is what summer's for, guys. Don't get all upset. Don't beat yourself down. This is time for reflection, right? If you don't have time to take a course at FX Bootcamp, if you don't have time to take a course online and learn macroeconomics, if you don't have time to go to university like I'm doing, or if you don't have time to read books or something, at least take the time this summer to do some self-reflection. Okay? You need to make massive change. Remember Einstein, E equals mc squared? Right? E is just energy, M, right? C squared. Mass times the speed of light squared. You can rearrange all of that, but what this means, because imagine the mass of an idea. How much does an idea weigh? Not very much. But if you multiply it by the speed of light squared, it's still a big number. Okay? So what I'm saying is to take something mentally here, like internal reflection. How are you going to be a better trader? Why do you miss trades like this? What do you need to be working on? How will you improve? Where do you want to be a year from now? To the thought in of itself is weighs like practically nothing, right? What is the weight of electrical chemical energy in your brain? No, there is a mass. It's just small, almost impossibly to imagine small, but it's there. There is. I've heard in many times in I think psychology classes where when a person dies, their mass actually changes, their soul or whatnot goes into the heavens. The mass of the body actually can change measurably. No, very small, but whatever. So there is a mass. Okay. But to make it all work out, the E is small, but the C squared is a very big number. To turn that into a reality, a true physical world change, because that's what that is, it's physics, it requires a lot of energy. You need to supply the energy to make the equation work. Okay? So if you don't have any money, right, and you don't have much time, you still are required to put the energy in. And I would use that time over the summer when the markets are calmer to put in some self-reflection and make a massive change in your life. Not just mentally, like you physically do things differently as well as mentally. Okay? So if you're missing trades like this, why? And that's the thing, you need to be confident enough to even ask yourself why. But if you can't address that, then your technical analysis, like whoever asked earlier, can I put little green arrows and red arrows there? You know what? If I did that, you still wouldn't be successful. Especially if you're looking for that, you're looking to cut corners. That's a sign of failure, right? You want to do the work. You want to love the work. You want to be the expert. You want to be the green and red arrow for a billionaire. Don't worry about it, ma'am. I got your money covered. I'm a green arrow. I am green arrow, right? So, right? So, I don't know. Make a massive change, guys, this summer. Somehow. Take a course, read a book, take a class, right? Some massive change. Just train yourself how to put massive energy into something, right? Something. J-Dog's got the time, but not the money. Good. Then you can take a second job. Great. I mean, that's good news. I can make more money, but I can't make more time. So if you got lots of time, snap. Hustle. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been hustling my whole life. Gonna make money. I had 2, 3, 4 jobs as a kid. All right. So yens. So we've talked about correlation recently too. You notice how euro yen is generally up. Even pound yen is trying to get up. CAD yen's on the move. Okay. It's good to see that. The higher the correlation, the better. Yeah. Oh, the future says, and love what you do. But I assume that at this point, right? Thank you, Tate. All right. All right. So one of the things we talked about earlier, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Of course, we were down here. Remember that? Now we're getting sort of to the predictable high. So if it keeps going, I can't buy it. Okay. So the thought process here is some sort of, okay, a revert to the mean. So you got to think this way. right? I'm not average, but I can be mean at times. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking. Profit taking, repurchasing plan. Ciao. And you know what? Even if it came down here, I'd be a buyer. So I'm already setting things up. I'd buy it here and I'd buy it here. All day long. Okay. And of course, if you're a bear, you're looking at stuff over here and predicting this is a top. That's cool too. That's totally cool. But you probably would see something like this first. Okay. I don't think it would just do kind of, but it could. It could, but okay. You just got to be a little more careful as a bear. You got to get yourself together. You get stuck in the moment. Can't get out of it. All right. By the way, does anyone like coffee? So here's my, this one's actually Starbucks. Ugh. Oh, that's right. They kicked me out at midnight. But the coffee here for the kids at Harvard, they take 5 different coffee beans and they roast them 3 different ways to make their own personal blend. They call it the Fog Buster, and it's fantastic. Like, I think I'm going to actually try to find a way to buy it, bring it home. How about that, huh? Is that nice? 5 different kinds of coffee beans, roasted 3 different ways in a perfect blend of incredibly strong but yet smooth, naturally sweet with the oils of the bean. Yeah, oh, it's really good coffee. It's kicking in, man. It's kicking in. Oh, all right. What is this? Okay, let's do euro. So one of the things we talked about, I think again it was yesterday, maybe the day before, the way that's set up is if dollar was strong, you would sell pound dollar. If dollar was weak, you would buy euro dollar. Yeah, RJ, it's great. I'm telling you, it's really good. So let's take a look and see if anything's happened. Well, Monday was here. Is there a pivot in there, or is that it? No, that's it. So this was a sell pivot. But notice it's not a perfect entry. Yeah, you don't want to look back in hindsight and say that was an awesome trade. Okay? You see that? You could have. It was resistance. I remember I highlighted this area with a box. You guys remember I did something like this? I did something like way back here. You remember that? And I said, yeah, that's our sell zone. If you're a bear, then we talked about whether you want to be a bull or a bear. Then I said you should probably look at dollar correlation. If dollar is strong, you probably want to sell that. Okay, great. So you had your chance. Is there anything to do now? Sorta. Okay, if you're a bear, and by the way, I'm not saying you should be a bear, but if you are a bear, this is sort of the new area. Okay? And you're like, well, it's practically the same. No, it's not. Anyways, so you could be selling on high. But here is a word of caution. Where would a bull buy? A bull would love to buy sort of this area. Okay? So I don't know who's in it. And you probably have sold it once or twice as a bear. One of them is profitable, one's near break even, and you could have bought it as a bull, and that's long and gone. And we're not really assured of anything. I still don't have enough information to tell you, like, at the end of the week, are we going to be way down here or way up here? There's no indication here. Maybe we're moving sideways. Maybe the market's neutral. Maybe we've lost volume and volatility. Around July. Not shocking. Okay? So you're going to have to look at correlation and find out what the dollar is doing. Right now, it says, well, I'm assuming the pound is weak. So if the US dollar isn't really crushing this, then maybe the US dollar is generally weak as well. Okay? So if US dollar is weak, this would be generally going up. And this is a day trade. So if you were day trading, the entry is very easy, very obvious, and in fact, you already got out for profit most likely. The entry would have been in, this is the entry, London Open, buy zone. But again, nothing on this chart tells you to buy. You have to be on a 4-hour chart, daily chart. You have to do fundamental analysis. You have to have an opinion about the US dollar. You have to have an opinion about the euro, so on and so forth. But if you've done that work, okay, it's fairly easy. You would have tried buying here yesterday, for example, somewhere in there. It's not a perfect entry. Summer, whatever. This one is easy. This one you would have done. Not a problem. All day long. Okay. Now it hit here. Remember that whole volume and volatility thing? That's the conservative target. And the fact that it dropped like a ton of bricks means like nobody has conviction. They are happy to put the 50 pips in their pocket and run. But I told you, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But I told you a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, by the time we get past the June Fed meeting, we're going to end up being day traders where we actually take our profit much of the time and not necessarily swing trading. We're going to be shooting at rabbits, right? How many years have you done this with me when we talk about shooting at rabbits? By the time August comes along, we're going to be sick of rabbit casserole, rabbit stew, rabbit hot dogs, right? Sauteed rabbit. What's the one where you got the lemon and capers? I can't think. But anyways, you get sick of rabbit after a while. But look, that's just what we're doing right now. Okay. If you're a bear, you took a shot here. That's cool. Didn't work out for you. That's fine. You did your job. Don't worry about it. It's cool, bro. But if you were a buyer, hey, you got paid this time. Great. Right on. Now, the next question is, can we maintain a move? Okay. Well, here's the really interesting thing. That should have been part of your plan for today as well. Why? Today's Friday, right? So you should be looking at the next day's pivots as well. And you may have missed Monday's trade already. But let's analyze this using different tools. Let's change our tool here. Let's take a look. Okay. What's one rule here? You're not allowed to sell. Right? We discussed this. That one rule is you cannot sell. So it'd be interesting if you were day trading with the idea like, I can't sell. Well, then you probably found buying opportunities here and here and here and here, and then of course here. And you just buy the dip, buy the swing, buy the swing, and you just buy because that's your bias, and you know you can't sell. So now it just comes down to what's tomorrow's swing trade, what's next week's swing trade, what's next month's swing trade, and you're popping in trades at prices, and you're using technical analysis on a 15-minute chart to time your entries. But that's what you're supposed to do, right? Eric BNLL says daily looks flat. Sure. Okay. Right on, Oscar. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate the feedback. I'm an only child, so I love positive feedback. I love to be showered with admiration. It's probably why I do it. That's probably why I do this. I'm an only child, right? My father left home when I was 2. Now I'm like, oh, I want people to love me. Yeah, hey, well, it works, right? If I'm here and you're here and we're all happy, your strengths are my shortcomings and vice versa. Fantastic. So I love the feedback, and particularly positive. So thank you. Thank you. Really, seriously. Thank you. So anyways, I think I said enough about this. Enough said. Drop the mic. My eyes are getting watery. I think I'm a little tired. I have to write a paper today. Hey, let me ask you. Oh, this might be a good thing. I might need your help, actually. How many people own a GoPro or have owned a GoPro or seriously thought about buying a GoPro to the point where you shopped around for a GoPro? Maybe you held a GoPro in your hand and you're like, yeah, well, and you ended up not buying it. So have you ever owned? Will you ever own? Did you ever seriously think about owning a GoPro? Anybody? I was thinking about maybe I can create a quick survey over the next couple hours, maybe send it out. And like just things like click, 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 click. Anybody? Like I said, I would just create a survey. You wouldn't put your name on it or anything. It'd just be click. So I could create a question like, what model of GoPro have you owned? And it would say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think there's one more. And you're like, well, I owned a 2 and a 6. Okay, and then I say, well, would you buy an 8? You're like, nah, I don't really need the 8's not that big. Like just clicks, right? Yeah, of course they are. So the question, so I just need some feedback on that stuff. Kind of lame in your city, Dr. H. What city do you live in, Dr. H? You got the 4? Yeah. No, I need to send out a survey. Like, I'm telling you, this thing would take you 1 minute. I'd probably ask 10 questions. And all click. Just no writing, no typing. Which one did you own? GoPro Hero 4. Done. Next. So if anyone... you know what? Okay, I'll try to do that. The problem is I need your answer, like in the next 6 hours. So, oh my God, I'll try to find time to create a survey. Maybe I'll email it out to you guys. Holy smokes, I feel like a disaster all of a sudden. Do I look good? Yeah, put the hat back on, huh? So anyways, Aussie dollars, nothing really to say here. I mean, you can see there's a potential sell for next week, which means you might be selling it today, but I can see on the 4 hour it's not quite ready. Maybe New York, maybe end of day, but you should be able to see all that. You should be able to see we're at resistance. You should be able to see the monthly and weekly swing next week. So if you were thinking about an Aussie dollar short, or you expect the US dollar to get strong, you should be on a smaller time frame now. You already got your bias set. You already know what your prices are. You should be on a 15-minute chart looking for a tactical entry probably in the next 4 hours, and you should be in it for the next 4 days, maybe the next 4 weeks. But you should be able to see all that. If you don't see all of that, you need to ask yourself why. And no, I'm not going to put a little red arrow, right? Yeah, Mike. No, I know a lot. I just need primary research data. That's all. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. I'm showing you this. I'm showing you. I don't have to do anything. I just looked at it. Like, you should be able to see where we're at resistance. Okay? You should be able to see monthly resistance next month, weekly resistance next week, price action resistance right now, all of that kind of stuff on a 4 hour. So if you were wanting to be a bear on the Aussie dollar, or simply do you just want to buy US dollar, you'd say, okay, well, this is approximately the right price. Now I need to know when to sell. When? Time. You know the price. Done. Look, that'd be a terrible place to buy it, but it might be a great place to sell it. And if you happen to be a seller, you're like, oh, that might actually be a great place. So drop into a small time frame, set it up tactically, reversal patterns, moving average crossovers, whatever, bruh. That's the easiest part. Okay. RJ's got a GoPro. See, so Bob's like, he never owned one, but wore one in a hockey tournament as a referee, use it for training and stuff. So if you've touched one, held one, used one, you would have an opinion that would be a fantastic part of some primary research. Okay, so I'm just writing a paper. So I wake up in the morning, I have to write a paper. That's it. Like, welcome to Harvard, right? I'm so tired, my eyes are watering. So I need to start this, and I like to go above and beyond what the professor thinks. I mean, that's what an A student is, right? So they're like, do some research. No, I want to do primary research. I want to know what you think. And it's not what the professor's expecting. So they'll say, oh my God, now maybe only 10 people fill out the form. But I'm like, look, I got 10 people to tell me their opinion. This is primary research, and I did it over the last 6 hours. And these people might be from different countries and all that kind of stuff. Maybe, I might say, are you in the U.S.? Are you in Asia Pacific? Are you in, whatever. You click. Super easy for you guys. But I'll say, hey, look, there might be a difference in culture on opinion on GoPro. It might be awesome in North America, but, So like my professor said, you go to Disney World and everyone's got a GoPro now. Everyone's got a GoPro, do it on the roller coasters or holding it up high and with the kids and in the water. Everyone's in GoPro. But I'm thinking to myself, yeah, well, if you went to Disney World Shanghai, they might be doing something similar, but I don't think they'd be using a GoPro, but I don't know. But I'm like, I think my American professor might have an American point of view where GoPro is the greatest thing in the entire world and everyone in the entire world is using it. And like, well, I think in China for $85 I can get something that looks like a GoPro and seems to do everything as a GoPro and probably has very reasonable quality, especially for the price. But then what about the video editing software capabilities and the sort of the social media aspect of a GoPro now, where you film something at your kid's birthday party and 22 minutes later there's an edited video online that grandma on the other side of the country is watching. You're right. Well, does that keep GoPro competitive? So I'd love to have your feedback, because I've never owned one, I never touched one. I have a drone. Charles, I think the only thing you can do is change whether it's 1 deviation, 2 deviations, 3 deviations. But a standard deviation is a mathematical or statistical term, right? So there is, you take a data set and you create the average and how far from the average price can go and all that kind of stuff. So that's just math. But like Bollinger Bands, for example, are 2 standard deviations, which simply represents 95% of the data set. Okay, that's the math to it, right? And I think one standard deviation is 68%. Two standard deviations is 95. Three standard deviations is something like 98. Four standard deviations. You get to the point where it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Okay, Charlie. Airbender. All right. I gotta go, yo. So maybe look for that. I'll try to send it out. It'll just be like a link. You click on the link, survey, click, 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 done. If you have 1 or 2 minutes for me, that would help me blow the doors off of Harvard. And then you can say, I was at Harvard, represented in an anonymous survey. But it would be helpful. That'd be great, guys. So anyways, I got to go, yo. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you with the patience you've shown me all week. And I'll need your patience again next week. And I'll need your patience again the week after. But after that, we'll be back to normal. Although I might travel a little bit. So maybe, hey, thank you for the patience that you're going to show me all summer. But I can promise you dedication and commitment back to you. And so I commit, you're patient, and we'll succeed together. So thank you for being in our community. Thank you for being in my life. I appreciate you. And I mean that. Thank you. See you on Monday, guys. Oh, where do I get your email? I'm assuming you have downloaded my chart templates. So I will send it to that group. It's in the link below the video where it says download my chart templates for free. Yeah, see, I'm very interested as well for people thinking about a GoPro. And particularly, Stingray, if you've gone and kind of touched one, you went to the store and you're like, ooh, this is nice, and you're kind of playing around with it, but you didn't buy it? That's interesting. I might even have to create a second one for people that thought about buying or thinking about buying and might buy a GoPro in the future but haven't it. Why not? Is this got a good reputation or a bad reputation? Is it too expensive? Is it silly? Like here's the thing. Are you really going to jump off of a bridge or go dirt biking in sand dunes? Right? Are you really going to do that? You're going to go skydiving? I like the one where they're climbing icebergs up the side of the face of an iceberg with their axes and their crampons and stuff. Like, really? That's really what you're going to do? You're like, I want a camera where I can like swim in the pool with my kids, right? Like, so is there a disconnect? Like, So anyways, thank you guys. I'll send something out.